Welcome to Homegirl Knows Best. This show is about the people, the stories, and all the messy chaos in between. I'm your host, Jen Cameron. Let's get into it. You'd like to think that should be how it is, right?
Right.
But it's not.
No.
All right. And there's a lot of people that they want something from you. The more your star rises, the more you'll see them. Jonathan, will you do this? Can I have this? I need access to you for this. Jonathan, right?
Yeah.
But I think that, part of the inner work is really getting to a place where you're okay with saying no to something, or, you're going to have to earn my trust to have access to this. And that's something I've been on my own personal journey with is if you want access to me, my family, my business, my whatever,
Absolutely.
you got to show up a certain way.
Yes.
Before I would be like, I just want to love everybody. And what does it hurt to give all this, and then somebody does something and you find yourself wounded, right? Because of that. And so I had a conversation with you recently and you said to me, and you're going to need to say it because I'm not going to get it right. You glow differently when
you get to know who you are. You get to understand your totality, like literally all of this. Once you do that, you can make peace with people leaving, right? Because there's one thing that people are afraid of doing because they want to keep that person, and sometimes that person is not your person. Is because people are afraid to lose something. And sometimes you have to be willing to lose something in order to gain something that's been waiting for you for a long time. So when I was willing and I understood that I had to lose people, just naturally, right? I met the most wonderful people in my life. And organically, opportunities also came in. And it doesn't become I want something from you. It becomes a collaborative venture, right? When you know that person is for you, it's just in your guts.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to lose something. Literally, you have to be okay with losing something. And that sometimes is a person that you love, and I had to make peace with that. Also because growing up, and then I went back to the younger Jonathan. Growing up, a lot of people understood my talent before I ever did. So they were able to go ahead and try to literally isolate me or try to bully me. So I had to make peace with people not wanting to stay because there was the jealousy factor.
Yeah.
But then when I learned that they had to go, I started glowing. But they also started seeing me differently. It's just like, wait, their power is not working anymore. That thing that literally just like...
I know what you're talking about because I've had to do so much self-work to be okay with that. I used to think if somebody in my life who I had invested in was leaving or needed to leave, or I needed to just boot them.
Yeah.
Like, you got to go. This is not healthy. It would still feel like this death to me, like this painful, excruciating thing that I had to get okay with. And it was actually me. They weren't causing all that pain. I was the driving force of my pain, not understanding that was even just okay, that it was time. They weren't the right people or whatever it was. But that took me figuring out that I had to be okay with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And pain is part of the process of letting go.
Yeah.
Letting people go. Right? I had to also understand that, this was painful. I loved that person very much.
What was that like as a little kid? Because I could see you trying all these things and whatnot, and all of a sudden you're finding this talent and you've got this community supporting you. But you talked about being bullied.
Yeah.
Who were the bullies?
Just people in my classroom, and coworkers. And yeah. And if you give them power, it continues.
Yeah.
Right. And I think the one thing that I did growing up, I didn't know, what does power mean and all of that. I didn't know when I were about 14, 15. But I understood somehow that I didn't want to feel the same way that I was feeling for too long. And so I went out there and I put myself out there. And then guess what? I found new people, a new community. And somehow it was like a 360. It would just always come around and people would come back to me and say, hey, how are you? Let's sit down. And when you get older, let's have a drink. Let's have a drink.
Yeah.
Let's sit down. Let's catch up. No. You no longer have priority. And in this space, I gave 2 years. I tried to be friends with people. I tried to be there. But y'all were looking at me for the things that I had or the things that I was building, and the career and etc. It bothered you. Okay. No more priority and no more access, right? You're forgiven. You're good. We're going to have a great time. Yeah, we can share the same space. But you just don't get my energy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you have a sense of fame, let's call it, right? Because that's what it is. You're famous for a reason, right? There has to be people that have disingenuous reasons for wanting your friendship, right?
Yeah.
Or how do you is it an instinct when you know if somebody is genuine or has the wrong motives? How do you kind of self-protect that?
I think nowadays that, I took like a year off and it's been really about being an individual, practicing individuality, which is not a crime, everybody, okay? It's not a bad thing because people think that that's being selfish. No, that's not being selfish. It's that nowadays it's hard. You have to join a bubble. You have to be, follow somebody or something like that and et cetera, et cetera. Well, when you get to know the totality of you and you appreciate it and you love it and et cetera, and you feel good in your own skin, guess what? You don't even need to deal with that. Yeah. People can come in, but it reveals itself, the energy, it's not a match. You just keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Because life is like that, right? Life, it goes and then people stay for a bit and they leave and whatever it is. So you gotta keep going, keep pushing. Yeah, I've had coffee with so many people. Literally, I should open a coffee shop.
You
Everybody.
should.
Seriously, because I have a lot of coffee. And I'm a coffee guy. So,
and you live in Seattle.
Right, yes. Or I need coffee shop sponsorships. Yeah, please hit me up at Ballet Dude.
Oh my God. You should have Storyville. Have you ever had Storyville?
No, what is that?
Seriously. Go down to Pike Place Market, upstairs, Storyville Coffee. So their whole purpose is like a good give back brand, but it's like the Neiman Marcus of Seattle coffees.
Okay.
Oh yeah. We're going to meet there and we're going to have coffee next time.
Let's do it.
I'll take
Absolutely.
you. Because, but I see that for you. Actually, can we just touch a little bit? I know you've been on this journey and of just like you, right? And we had talked about, I had experienced Jay Shetty at my real estate conference when the agency had our forum in the desert. And then you recently went to, when he came to Seattle.
Yes.
And whatnot. And that's just kind of a spiritual journey, right? Yeah. Just another layer and whatnot. Over this year where you've been staying single and not dating and just working on you, and it's not like you're not busy. Okay,
Oh
first
my,
of all,
not at all.
if you were dating, I don't know where you would find time. But like in that, what are some things that you discovered about yourself that maybe you didn't even know that you were going to discover that you needed to discover?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh my God, a lot of things. There were a lot of fears, right? Social media was one of them. And I'm a guy that loves social media. I'm there, I'm doing
Yeah.
stuff and I do a meme or I do something else and et cetera, et cetera. But social media has always been a tool for me to grow as well.
Yeah.
And now it became a tool for me to understand my own fears and what is it, and it was just like, me trying new things on social media because I'm this ballet guy, but I love entertainment. So it doesn't really fall with the ballet world where you have to look all, proper and closed off and, let me get my ties. I'm just like, no, I'm in events all the time with, my suits on and this and that. Now I like my oversized clothes and I like to go online and talk about stuff. And so I was able to really get to know my fears and able to really get to know my shame, but also I was really able to become confident with the noise that comes with becoming, right? Becoming yourself. The noise of, because there are 3 things that people are interested about me.
Oh, I know. Mm-hmm.
Sexuality, my political views, and my net worth. Literally, it's a conversation that always somebody throws something in, and I'm just like, okay.
But okay, but why do they think they get access to those things?
So that's the one thing I learned too about social media, which is like, in social media, you give what you want, and people don't see me dating.
Yeah.
At all. People don't see me dating. People don't see me exposing anyone, and et cetera, et cetera. I've dated. People saw my ex, and it was cool. And then we were no longer dating, and people are like, okay, who is he dating now? If I show up with somebody, they're like, are they dating? Are they a thing?
Yeah.
People are usually curious about something that you do not talk about.
Yeah.
But
they don't deserve access to that. That's
absolutely
those things you talked about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to tell anybody who I vote for.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I am married to Scott, so I guess people kind of know my sexuality at this point. I think that people assume because you do put so much out there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, oh, my favorite times are Jordan will be like, Jonathan's doing a live. It's pre-ballet, and you're just there. You're not even in your like full whatever. You're putting your makeup on. You're talking to people. You're not looking perfect. Hey. You're doing the thing. You're getting it together, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's such a cool thing because I don't think anybody, at least that I've ever experienced, gave anybody access to even that. I mean, that's a privilege to see the behind the scenes and what goes on here in this personal moment as you're preparing, but they don't get everything.
Yeah. They don't get everything,
No.
and you have to pick and choose when you are on social media, and if your name has been in the public eyes and et cetera, you don't share everything. I do have my friends, and I have a lot of friends in Seattle, and they know who I am, they know what I'm doing, and et cetera. So it's funny also when people get to me and they're like trying to say something to get a hint of something.
Yeah. Like almost like I'm going to trick you into answering this question.
I know. And I'm just like, okay, cool. How long do you know me? Have you known me? Like people would say 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Okay. So how long do you think I know myself? Oh, wait. Right. I'm 33. I know who I am. It was a build up, of course, but I know who I am. When you know who you are, the totality of who you are, done. What do you need to say? Right? You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, come know about my projects, about the fundraisers, and let's change a community. Let's build something meaningful. So what information do you want? It's going to build what from there?
Yeah. What are you going to do with that?
What are you going to do with that? Are you going to give me a show though?
Yeah.
We're going to sign these NDAs.
I don't know. Okay, I have said this since I met you, and it's when ballet, maybe towards the end of your career or something, like you have to have a reality TV show. That's your next. I see this for you. I want this for you. I need this for you.
I want it so bad.
This is like, yeah, I always say one day you're a prince and another day you're like kind of like the artist formerly known as. That's your fashion, right?
Yeah.
Can we talk about your fashion for a minute?
Oh, please, let's do it.
Oh my God. Like some of your looks. Anybody who has not followed you on your Instagram has to. And if I want to go back a ways, fashion's a thing. It's almost like an art form for you. I'm not going to speak for you, but what is it? Your looks change.
I just get comfortable with whatever feels good for me. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I also learned like, okay, now I'm loving myself. This is so cool. And it's not like the clothes, I'm looking good because of this piece of fabric. I'm just like, no, this piece of fabric looks good on me. Hey.
Well, you have 0% body fat, so let's get real.
I'm having a little something here, because this is a little bit, oversized. But, and I changed because I want to take risks. So here's the thing. I had that one outfit, that shiny one.
Yes.
That I put the heels on.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I've commented on this outfit.
Oh my goodness. And I went to something at Lamborghini. And it was an event. I was invited. I think it was by Adicora, where they had a fashion show. And I went in. Pictures came out. And then, oh my God, when I posted that, people were talking, especially in Brazil. Did you see what he was wearing? This isn't that, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, bingo.
Done.
My work is done.
Oh, but this is something, I've said this to you. I've said, you've really modernized ballet for the next generations. Okay. This is something that specific to Seattle that you've done, because I think that, and I'm saying this, you're not saying this, so nobody's going to get in trouble here, but people have this idea of the stodgy Pacific Northwest Ballet. It's traditional. It's this and it's that and nothing else. Right. And all of a sudden here you have Jonathan, explosion, first Black principal dancer. It's attention, right? Mm-hmm. Now you have a voice and you're using it. You're really showing this is who I am. Yes, I'm a dancer, but hey, this is who I am. And I'm all these things, right?
Right.
Fashion.
And you can be, right?
Yeah.
My mom used to tell me you can be whoever you want to be and whatever you want to be. Just have integrity, values, and be a good person. That's it. Yeah. And I was just like, all right, Mom, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up.
Those things.
And that's it. And that's this idea of the dancer, the star dancer, that you become this, I'm not approachable and this and that. I love my audience. Come to me. I get done with my performance and I go directly to the audience.
You do.
I want to say thank you. I want to look you in the eyes and literally just give you a hug, say thank you, and go from there. You never know. Might build a great relationship with people from the audience, which I have done. And it's not just the audience, the people who work at the theater. I love them. They're awesome. And so on. And I think that's a gift, for me, because I love people, and people from all walks. So
I've been there. You come out and all these people are waiting. And now that everybody knows that you actually come out, they're going to hear this. And then all of a sudden you're going to have so many people waiting for you.
Right. Come on over.
Come on over.
Join the club.
Okay. So we have to talk a little bit about your dance, because I've seen you play the Prince.
Yes.
And it's very different because you're also not the typical ballet dancer, male body form that I've always seen or come to expect in ballet. You're very tall, you stand very erect, you're very lean, and when you're the Prince, it's mesmerizing.
Thank you.
It's so, you're just, as a dancer, mesmerizing. And I mean that truly. I'm not kissing your ass. So, but I've seen you play the Lothario, which we now know what Lothario means. Yes.
Yes, we do. I
All
agree. I
right?
have to agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've seen you be comical and funny.
Yeah, in Coppelia. Oh my.
Yes. And it was, oh, wait,
Yeah.
Jonathan's this, he's this, he's this. Does that have anything to do with a little bit of your theater background?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this, to play Tybalt, it was one of the most challenging roles ever, because I had to be pure evil. And I was just like, I get angry from time to time, but I deal with it and I have to move on because I don't like staying angry or whatever it is, disappointed. So it's just not a feeling that I entertain. So, it was hard. The first time that I played it, I couldn't do it. And they were in the front of the room saying, you're not there. You're not there. So I had to go back home and literally study new scripts of villains from Brazilian soap opera.
Oh, really?
Yes. And there was this one lady, and I went through all the men that I know and the actors I know in Brazil and all of their villains and etc. But there was this one woman called Carminha from Avenida Brazil soap opera. And she was just cynical. She was pure evil in the soap opera. And I had to learn how to do it, and really just be able to soak it into that behavior, and it started working from, little to little, and I started getting angry. And practicing that, I would literally look in the mirror and scream and shout and, and you could see my eyes were changing, my veins were popping, and just so I could get into Tybalt. And it took me nearly 2 months to get into it.
And that's hard because who wants to live in anger? Like, I don't really want to feel that, but I do have to tap into it.
Absolutely.
In order to do this. So, did you hear that
sound effect?
Okay. So, when you had said to me one time the importance of dreaming, right?
Yes.
And for children dreaming.
Yes.
And, if we're talking about making, influencing and making a difference on someone's life. And I think that people are just so busy in their lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who stops to dream anymore, right?
Right.
But children, they dream.
They dream, yeah. They're able to dream and take their time, and it's so important because it feeds your being, and we all have a calling, but we all also have the gift to, become. We have the gift in order to literally work on that calling or work in whatever it is that you want to work. Sometimes your calling is something else. When I was a kid, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be a policeman. And then, oh my God, I'm going to be a doctor. And then dance happened. And I was just like, is that it? But then I remember I used to dance a lot in the parties, right? They used to have these dance groups that I wanted to join them. They would just go to a party and dance with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
And then go home. I used to be that kid that was dancing and following the steps and et cetera, et cetera. And so that's why it's so important for parents to pay attention to their kids because their gift is going to show at a certain point, right? I just saw this kid on Instagram that he was so young and he's literally like designing all of these pieces, putting fabrics together, this and that. And the parents, instead of saying, oh, he's a boy, right? And which is the usual, for some families to say, oh, he's a boy, he's into fashion. Oh, no, that's not a boy thing. That's a girl thing. No, they paid attention to his talent. That's his gift. Perhaps that's his calling. And the boy now is designing for big brands and 4.8 million followers on Instagram and, highly successful. When you listen to your gifts, your calling, which once you get older, it gets harder, right? Because we
Yeah.
have all of these noises, all of these distractions that come through and telling you that you shouldn't do, shouldn't be, or something like that. And then you get into the social media game as a teenager or even as a young adult. And there are all of these pictures of the final product of becoming, right? And that's the one thing in ballet. It happens too, right? You see all of these ballerinas with the legs here, this and that, and that's the final product. They've worked 10 years to develop all of that, that their beauty into this, products that they have now that we are all admiring, right? But it took work.
Yeah.
It took patience, resilience, hard work, excellence, greatness, and all of those, right? They were once disappointed. They failed. They succeeded. They failed. They failed. They got no's, and et cetera, et cetera. But everyone's just so focused on the final product instead of the journey that will get you there. And the one thing too is there will never be someone like you.
Never.
You're unique. So don't work to become that. Use that as an inspiration. Pay attention to your own process, right? And that's what I tell kids in ballet. You have to pay attention to your own process. And I've fallen into that lane too, where I paid attention to somebody else's and I was just like, nope, it didn't work. And it will never work, right? Why did that person get an opportunity? Why this happened, this and that? Once you pay attention to yours, then you're going to be like, okay, got it.
Pay attention to the journey,
Absolutely.
not just the final product.
Not just
I think
the final
there's
product.
a lot of people that have a talent and they run from it, right?
Yeah.
You keep running. I know this is in me, or that little voice is telling you, I'm good at this, right?
Yeah.
But wait a minute, maybe I can't be, or maybe I'm afraid of that. That looks like a lot of work,
Right.
And so maybe their path is a little bouncy in that process to kind of finally settle and accept and whatnot. But I agree with you that we all have a gift, and that we're here for a bigger purpose, right? And
Absolutely.
you're in that incredible position because you get to have a voice and you get to have an influence. And I want to go back to that totality and really understanding yourself and glowing differently, I think, because then the best of you shines, right?
Absolutely.
What do you foresee as longevity in ballet? I mean, there's got to be a point where your body kind of breaks down or it wears out or things don't work the same, or is there a lifespan for a dancer?
Certain dancers, they become choreographers, producers, artistic directors, teachers. They open their own studios. However, I think for me, if I would love to become an artistic director, or else I'm out and it's entertainment. It's TV for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's TV and entertainment.
I'm going to take that bet. I'm going to take that bet.
I don't think I'm going into the ballet path. I think that my calling has always been entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And ballet is a part of it, right? And I did it, and I did it through ballet. And I love it. I love what I do. I truly invest my time, my passion, my love, my strength, my energy, my faith. But it's just bigger than that. Yeah. And that's why, I'm having friends who are, dancers, soccer players in the city, football players, and so on and so on. Because I like the bigger picture of things.
Do you see Seattle as permanent?
Yes. However, if I have to leave, I would definitely have a house here. I would always be back.
I hope so.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You recently invested in 2 apartments.
Yes.
In Brazil.
Yes, I did.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely.
Why? How?
The economy in Rio is booming right now, right? And or it started back then, let's say that. And they started, the governor started revitalizing, thank you to everyone. English is not my first language. And we're back. I know, because, don't let my English fool you. Yeah?
Yeah.
But revitalizing. Fantastic. One of the neighborhoods close to downtown Rio, and it's called Porto Maravilha, where the Ferris wheel is at, and the Museum of Tomorrow. That's what they call in Rio. And so they're building this area like this fest. Buildings are coming up. Awesome, beautiful beautiful streetcar, by the way. And then I hear from an inside source that Flamengo, the biggest Brazilian soccer team, was going to buy a land to build their stadium.
Oh, wow.
In that area. And so I'm waiting. I think the date was July 30th. Don't quote me on that. Might have been. And it got canceled because they had an issue with it. And I said, no, it's not possible. And so I was supposed to sign June 30 as well. No, sorry, July 30 or July 29th, something. And I didn't sign. And then I signed. Nothing happened. On the next day, the agent sent me a video of the governor going, boom, land was sold.
Wow.
And so they are building a new stadium.
Time and opportunity is everything in real estate.
Absolutely. And they are building a new school, a new market over there. They're thinking of university. And so I said, okay, this is the time to invest in Rio. Now, the governor also started bringing artists such as Madonna. It started with Madonna. Now it was Lady Gaga. Madonna brought in 1.3 million people to Copacabana. That was just a free show. They built a stadium on the Copacabana beach, close to the Copacabana Palace, and free show by Madonna. 1.3 million people. Then Lady Gaga came next, and it was, don't quote me on it, I want to say 3 million people right there.
Wow.
Next is supposed to be U2, the band, and next supposed to be Beyonce. They're still negotiating. And so the economy goes.
This is what we call smart investing.
Oh, great. Oh, thank you. I didn't.
So is it easy for people in the U.S. to purchase real estate in Brazil?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
Have to do a little investigating on this.
Yes, I believe so, because I've had friends invest in Rio. I'm not quite sure if they were citizens. That's what I need to ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it shouldn't be complicated.
Yeah. And your mom and dad are there?
Yeah, my mom and dad, they're there. Yes. And then the second one, I grew up in this neighborhood that is, I guess, 7 or 10 minutes away from the beach by car.
Mm-hmm.
And I got an apartment there too. That's a 3-bed, 2-bath, but it's 6 minutes walking to the beach. And I think I'll have a water view. I'm a firm believer, and it's almost done.
Okay. You hope?
Yes.
You're going to have to update me, because that will be a game changer in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's beautiful. It's small, but it's beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. And they're getting ready to deliver the keys.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So how much time do you get off from the ballet each year? Like how many specific weeks?
I would suggest 12 weeks.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. 12 weeks, I think. And this is the first time in 4 years that I get 4 weeks off starting today. Today.
And I'm a part of your 4 weeks.
Yes.
I'm incredibly honored.
Well, I worked before I came here. I worked. And so it starts now.
It starts now. Cheers to that,
Cheers
babe.
to that. Hey, vacation. 4 weeks.
Wow.
But yeah. And I think I've always wanted something real, but I didn't believe in the economy. And I said, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. And then when this happened, I said, this is it. That's what we're doing. And I took a risk. I said, oh, let's go, let's go.
No risk, no reward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I would kind of wrap this up just to say personally, I hope that you're always here. But I love you enough. I would never want to hold you back from anything. But I think that you've already left an indelible mark here for the future generations to come. People to see something different in the arts and somebody out there leading and building bridges. To me, that's the most important thing on top of all the other things. And so I thank you for that.
Yeah,
and
well,
I
thank you
for being here and coming and your friendship and being so fabulous in all the right ways.
Well, thank you. I love you. And thank you so much for having me. And I have to say that, it takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get here alone by myself. It took a village. It took a lot of people believing in me and believing in my dreams, my words. And, when I had to speak up and people were there listening and there was resistance too, which I'm very grateful for that. There were people that taught me invaluable things, really, really wonderful on how to carry myself and how to carry myself in the face of the challenges that I've encountered myself with.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful. It is a community win. It is just, I've had many teachers in life, and those teachers, they are my parents, they are my teachers, they are my friends, and people who really, really were willing to just give me a hand and embrace me and give me love, tough love as well,
mm-hmm.
and so on. So I'm really, 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 really grateful. And I'm grateful that I'm able to live a happy life.
A happy life is everything. And nothing good that's truly rewarding comes without the struggle.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing that makes it so sweet.
There's beauty in struggle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
There's bigger things coming. That star's not dimming. It's getting brighter and brighter.
It's getting brighter and brighter for all of us. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Homegirls Knows Best.
Thank you, friend. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Gotta keep the greasy going. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening, and thanks to my guest. Make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See ya.